Really be able to like respond to everyone, but we're doing the Learning to Lose podcast, and if you want to just listen in, me and Billy are going to talk about sobriety, and this is my sponsor, Billy. Sobriety, the Unabomber manifesto, pain, misery, suicide, redemption, hopes, surrender, honesty, courage, faith, truth, recovery, the light and the darkness, the yin, the yang, Charles Darwin and Carl Jung, and all the rad things that fucking make me make life worth living. Okay. Why the fuck don't I hear anything? Why the fuck don't I hear anything? Fuck.
Angela had this crazy experience. I'm a little bit apprehensive to talk about it, but I guess I can.
Yeah, I mean, look, and that's another thing.
It happened at the Evigan's house, so I don't want to turn.
Was it good or bad?
It was bad.
Wow.
Yeah, and it really flipped her out. She's still shook.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he gave me some more of these nicotine toothpicks that I like.
Okay, so let me just I'm just gonna get my coffee. You want a LaCroix?
Coffee? Right now?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I failed on my challenge last night.
Oh, really?
And I made up a harder one to start. Stay hard, motherfucker! That's my motto.
You talk to the people?
I'm hidden. Hello, everybody. This is Billy Bob Pollywog doing a podcast. I am like anti-tech, and I can't even figure out how to put TikTok on my phone or even save a contact on my phone. But I'm really enjoying, what would you call it, like benefiting from Patrick's setup here and all his work.
Yeah, like,
it's nice to be heard.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like, you don't even understand like how many. If you like went through my YouTube or like my TikTok or my Instagram, you saw like the amount of content that I've made. It's baffling. Just because 90% of that stuff I never made any money. I never made money doing it. What's up, guys? Well, welcome to the Learning to Lose podcast. This is going to be the first podcast that we're streaming live on TikTok to my 80,000 followers. I don't know. I guess you could say that's a brag. Whatever. Think whatever the fuck you want. I'm proud of it, and I'm grateful to have people that are listening, because I think that we have a message of, I don't know, experience, strength, and hope. We've been through a lot, and I think we figured out the key to how to live life. It's not easy to do, but I think we know what we're supposed to do, at least, right? Live by a certain set of principles: honesty, courage, faith, humility.
Well, there's a lot of them in there, but the thing is they get deeper and bigger and larger as time goes on, which is really wonderful.
Yeah, that's really cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so So she went to.
Okay, I'll just do it real quick, get it off. So Angela, super biblical, super Jesus. This is the mother of my child. When we met, this was not who she was. She was very much into astronomy and crystals and that kind of stuff. And we jived on the same wavelength. But now she's this, and she believes she's right. And you know how the Christians are all into like demonic warfare and and that. Which, and I'm not saying it's not true. I half believe her.
Right.
So I was taking her around the Evigans. They were having a good time. Summer was playing with the chickens and all the stuff and having a great time. And then I went to take her around and show her, that cool yurt tent they have. And I started opening it up. And Angela was having a good time too. Everybody was happy for like an hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she's like, oh, I got to go. I don't feel well. And I'm like, fuck, maybe she's having a dizzy spell or something. And then when we got to the car, I'm like, you okay? You all right? Are you having like a Meniere's thing or something? And she's like, no, I felt an energy. And it was just like, go, get out of here, like an evil energy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, is she talking about the Evigans or what? She's like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what it was. I'm like, did someone die there? Like, did some weird shit happen? Like, and she's not saying one way or the other. And then I asked her a lot of other questions. I'm not going to go deep into it.
Yeah.
But false prophets and all this shit, and people get deceived. And she thinks she knows the truth. And I asked her, well, how do you know the truth? And she says, because it all lines up. And she could be right. She could be right. And then I'm like, well, then why doesn't Jesus call me up? And again, we're on the Jesus topic. So that's that. That's what happened. It was weird because she's shook. I can tell she's still shook.
But like what
I just hooked up my cousin Julie with him too. I asked him if it was cool. He's like, yeah. I was kind of candid with him. I'm like, are you a bigwig? I just asked him.
Right.
Because to me, he's Jason, the guy from the podcast, your friend.
Yeah, Jason Evigan is a good friend.
And then I asked him, just trying to fill him out. I'm like, do you have stalkers? And he's like, yeah, thousands.
Yeah, so Jason Evigan is a really successful producer. He did the Rufus Del Sol album. He did a bunch of Maroon 5 stuff. He did the Girls Like You, Maroon 5 with Cardi B. He does Jason Derulo, Madonna, Katy Perry, Rihanna. He did the new Dua Lipa single, and we're really good friends. I was in a band with him, I was in his first band ever, Delusion, and
dude, Max knows them. Max dated his little sister in middle school. It is such a small world.
Whoa,
so weird.
Brianna?
I guess, yeah, I think that's what he said.
She was, Brianna is the girl from Step Up 2, the dancer.
Oh, I don't know.
Tim was with Brianna for a little while. Yeah, Brianna's like pretty.
He said she was really cute and he was just really nervous the whole time.
Wow.
But he was just a kid.
Yeah, and Max is a pretty good looking guy.
Yeah.
Right, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
What else?
I mean, it seems to me like...
Oh, and then Jason dated his cousin, Max's cousin.
Whoa.
So weird, right? Just a small world.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's kind of interesting to me that like... I mean, it seems like normal to me. Like she's thinking...
What are you talking about?
Well, just the freak out that she had. It's kind of... I mean, what are her feelings towards me?
I just asked her. I just blunt now because she's not even my woman. I don't even have to make her happy, right?
Right.
So I said, so is Pat evil? Because after Astrid got to everybody,
right,
we were all like going to come and burn your house down with you in it. And not really, but I'm just exaggerating. But The witch hunt was going on, and you were the witch.
Yeah.
So fucking crazy. She's like, I never want Summer there. I don't want you talking about me on the pod? And she's totally softened up. So I asked her.
Right. And in her defense, it makes sense. I mean, she saw a clip of you high and she blamed it on me, which I totally like understand.
No, but I told her the very next morning what happened, and she wasn't. And Astrid influenced us for sure.
Yeah, I know.
God bless so Astrid. Crazy. I love her, but
like without having spoken to me or even getting all the facts, like how could she? Oh, because this goes into the social media thing. We're gonna get there in a minute because I think people demonize social media because they can't succeed on it, and there's a lot of really weird, bad like stuff on there, and a lot of times that stuff gets big, and that's what they see, so they think that's what it is. Hot. I mean, dude, women especially. I mean, some of the women on Instagram are like insane, right? So imagine being a normal woman or an older woman seeing that. You're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate the whole platform. You know what I'm saying?
You mean the hoochies?
Yeah, like imagine Astrid looking at Instagram and seeing that.
She showed me a picture of you. She's like, this guy's too much. You were like in your underwear or something and they were all pulled up.
Oh, yeah. When was this?
It wasn't really negative though. She's just like, he's too much.
When? Like recently?
A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
It's the one where I'm like holding my belly.
I don't know.
I'm fucking funny. Too. What do you mean?
Oh, that's something I want to hit on too.
I don't take myself
Comedy.
that seriously. What too much? What did she mean by that?
That's what I'm not quite sure. It's ambiguous, right? Like,
yeah.
So she, I just laughed. I said, "Ha ha, it's funny."
Or she's still. But see, here's the interesting thing, right? She's still following me.
I guess she must be if
she showed you that photo. Yeah. So wait, she sent it to you.
Yeah.
She didn't like it. She didn't comment on it, but she's watching me.
She's watching you.
Everyone's watching me. Once you see what I'm doing, you can't stop watching it because it's like a train wreck, because nobody can imagine how a person could be so willing to just let it all hang out. I took a shit on the front lawn of someone's house and I posted it. And I was super scared to do it because I'm thinking, yo, this is kind of like, imagine doing that in front of 1,000 people. Nobody would ever do that, right?
Well, I wouldn't say nobody.
Okay, well, the point I'm saying is like, it's just a weird thing. And my therapist was even telling me the other day, it's like, you have a special, unique ability to be yourself unapologetically in any situation. And however I learned how to be that or do that, I think a lot of people see that and they can't even imagine that it's genuine. They don't. They think there's some other agenda, and it's like, I just think that everyone has flaws. So when people see mine, they're like, oh, like I shit on someone's lawn one time too. Or I remember that one time and that's what most of the comment, there really wasn't any bad comments. It was mostly people laughing and saying, like, I remember the time. And then when I was crying, I mean, bro, I couldn't even sleep that night because I let it go into the world. And I thought, dude, if somebody, it's a very vulnerable, and I don't know necessarily why I do this to myself. I don't know, maybe because it's kind of like I don't know, for some reason I feel like that's my calling or my purpose, to be unapologetically authentic.
But you got to watch out because the ego could what are they called?
Actually, that's funny because
it could,
yeah.
I don't know what the word is exactly.
Well, it could make my actions not authentic.
Yes. And
Veronica, and there are times when I kind of push it a little bit to see how far it will go and to get some kind of dramatic thing. But the core of like who I am and what I'm saying is always honest and genuine. And
but are you saying you're not attention seeking?
Of course I am.
Okay.
But
that's just who you are. You've always been that way, right?
It's because I've realized the truth, and I this is why, because I don't want to work for anyone else. I don't want to have to compromise my art. I don't want to have somebody tell me that the plant I picked is not a good plant. and then have to do what they ask me to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that so bad that I'm willing to go to any lengths to build my own following and my own platform so that I can do what I want to do and say what I want to say and use the transitions I want to use and the music I want to use and spread the message I want to spread, right? I don't want to have to like work for someone else. And the only way to do that is to build your own following. And I mean, like, sometimes you got to be a little loud. I think you have to be loud so that you can get the attention of the fucking millions of people that are just so distracted by all the bullshit. So you gotta kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, and once the following's there, I scale it back. I'm not always crazy, but there are some posts that are just meant to be kind of crazy and so that I can reach new people. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I forget why you were saying this though.
Because you said, do I seek attention?
Yeah, but before that you were, why were you? Okay. So were you going to comment on Angela or something?
What I was saying was that, like, I think the reason that people, they can't imagine that you know, they think that I must be, I mean, she sees that photo of me making that weird pose and stuff, and she's just like, she can't even wrap her head around why I would do that, or that I'm like that free to be able to just post some ugly, funny photo of myself like that.
I don't know what she thinks.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't figure it out.
I really shouldn't really be either, but I don't know.
Because she also has a large following. So something about her, well, she's loud and aggressive person and people just want to follow her.
Right. That's what's interesting is she's like the same way.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
that's why I predicted even before this happened that you guys are going to have to go to head at some point.
I just want to love her and I want to have her here, and I wish we could just.
I wish we could have her here
friends.
and just talk candidly.
I think we will one day.
Yeah, I don't know if the Anonymous program, if she jives with it or not.
Well, here's the thing.
But she says she does something too.
Well, here's the thing. It's all melting away.
Yeah.
Because of Zoom and this quarantine, and it's just all So let me say this.
Well, she thinks I'm a little crazy for letting you expose me, but I'm volunteering to be exposed because I feel the same way. Like, I want to be honest and heard.
Yeah, and yeah.
And if people like it or don't like it, there's something freeing about it, right?
I think so. It's
even if nobody else was listening, but the three of us doing the podcast, it's still freeing. Even though the third person's not here right now, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a long form focused conversation where we
therapeutic though.
Yeah, it is therapeutic. It's so funny because I put an episode on in my car just to check the volume levels. I do that a lot. Like when the new episode comes out, I'll just listen to it and then I'll go over to Joe Rogan, then I'll go over to Mark Maron, and then I'll go over to me, and I'll just make sure that it's like the same level and it sounds like professional. And I just listen to like a little bit. I don't ever really listen. I don't think I've ever listened to like a whole podcast. I have this weird thing where I don't want to like, I'm so like fucking listen to how like insane I am. I don't even want to really start taking something serious until it's like a big deal. Does that make sense?
Well, why is that insane?
Because like Wickham, like before we were anything, he was like, I don't know if this is like good enough. And I'm like, dude, we just got to start throwing shit up against the wall and then see what sticks. But now that we have like 10,000 downloads and there are people that are actually listening and there's like 25 people in the room listening right now, like we have like an audience right now. Now I'm like, all right, cool. This is something. This is something now. And I might listen to the episode, which I probably won't. But
I just listened to the last one you posted. I enjoyed it.
The point I'm making is that I listened to a little bit of it and I was like, like it helped me. My own podcast helped me a little bit. And
we got to be reminded every day.
Yeah. I forget what it was. Oh,
that's the weird thing. Yeah.
Oh, because it was because the last podcast we posted was one with me and Billy, my sponsor, and it was about we were reading the 8th step, but we went into it talking about something in particular. Do you remember what it was?
I just listened to it and I don't remember.
Michaelis saying, take it easy. Don't be too hard on yourself. And I heard that intro and I sent it to Michaelis and I said, look, we talk about you in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Remember my old sponsor that lives
in... the Studley dude.
Yeah, and then it just reminded me of what he was saying, and this guy is amazing because he follows me too, and he's like, I posted something the other day about like I posted my therapist. I filmed my therapy session in the kitchen, the whole thing.
Yeah, you told me, yeah.
And
am I talking loud enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good. I mean, I don't know if is the volume okay or is it not too loud?
No, it's fine.
I personally would like it to be louder, but like as long as I can see the wavelengths, I think we're good. So I said, what did I say? What the fuck was I talking about? I feel like I'm on crack. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Billy. I talk a lot. No, I posted this thing. So Michaelis, he saw my post. You didn't see that post on Instagram? The one where my therapist was like, where I was like, who wouldn't be validated by followers? This will be a good segue into the whole Instagram thing that you were talking about, chasing likes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, who wouldn't want, let me ask you this question. Like, would you want 100,000 followers on Instagram? If I could just give you that right now? Like real followers that like what you're, that are fan of like your...
Well, if I was doing something, I guess, but I'm not really doing anything. But yeah, I mean, if I...
Right. Well, the Michaelis basically responded to that because I was talking to my therapist about it. I was like, who wouldn't want a bunch of followers, right? And he said, I wouldn't. And he like waved his hands around and I was like, fuck, like... And I actually believe him. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I do. I just feel like if we're really being honest...
I think it's bullshit.
Yeah. See, because here's the thing. It's like...
I'm calling bullshit. I mean, if you're trying to influence people, why wouldn't you want to influence more?
Yeah, exactly. And if our primary purpose is to help... I don't even like
the word influence, but if you're trying to help...
Yeah.
You know, because that's what we do. We help ourselves and we help others at the same time.
Exactly.
That's how it goes. Why wouldn't you want to help more people?
Right. But what he was saying was when you're in the work and you're doing the work and you're helping someone else, you're not concerned with...
Yeah, I get it.
That stuff.
It's a humility thing, yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I've already achieved the validating thing. Right. On a pretty a pretty major level. Like I've signed autographs after shows.
We had decided through step work that was your number one, needing to be validated.
Yeah.
And that's probably why you're so high. You're getting fucking validated. Like,
yeah, I know, but like honestly, bro, I feel like I'm at a different place with it now. Like I really just want to be able to do what I love.
Yeah.
For a living.
Well, that was my argument to Max. I mean, why wouldn't
like imagine if this was our job.
Yeah, I'd be great, dude. Make it happen because I want this to be my job.
It would be like more than great.
I could bring shit because I write shit all the time, like fucking crazy shit in my head and stuff. I write it down.
But like what I'm saying is like how great would it actually be?
It would be amazing.
Right. And what lengths would you be willing to go to achieve that dream? So that's where my mind goes. I don't like if I think about...
Well, you must believe it's doable. I don't.
Okay, so that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
If one man can do something, another man can do something.
You might be able to do it because you have a certain personality and such and such.
Oh, you can't hear us? Oh, wait. Can you guys hear us? Oh, fuck. Wait. Oh, fuck. this whole time.
They're just watching us talk with no volume?
You guys can't... Oh, you can hear me fine? Oh, okay. Dude. So wait, let me just ask this. Can you guys hear us? Sorry, cause okay, cool. I got like a couple that said, I can't hear you. Well, maybe that's just because we're, it was like over here. Sorry, Billy. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. They can hear us. Do you want to just like hold this real quick and just look at what they're saying? So, guys, can you just say you're my sponsor?
I'm Billy. I'm Pat's sponsor for maybe 7 years or so, and I've completely changed his life.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding about that, but
no, like
it's been a good relationship. For both of us.
And I mean, look, the thing about this is it's crazy because. So Billy's talking to my phone right now because we're live streaming on TikTok.
I do not have glasses, so I can't even tell what they're saying.
Oh, but you see they're saying something.
They're saying something.
Here,
cool.
Let me see what they're saying. I was just wondering if you guys had any... He said, how are you guys tonight? What are you talking about? I'm just wondering if anyone has any questions for Billy, my sponsor. Since this is the first time that we're live streaming the podcast... I figured, maybe we could have it's interesting because people are joining constantly.
That was fun what you and Veronica did. You were answering comments on the podcast on
Oh, you heard that.
TikTok.
It's kind of hard.
It's distracting, but it's also interesting.
Yeah, it's hard because it's hard to focus.
If you had a third person doing that for you.
Yeah, and
you need a Jamie, dude. You
need
a Jamie.
Trust me, like I have a vision for the whole thing. And also, I think it's incredible because this could be a platform for people to get sponsors. Like, here's the thing about like, whatever. I don't want to.
I do think at some point we should go into some shit, though.
Yeah. Well, will you grab that Unifester, Unabomber?
Unifester?
Because this all kind of, goes. It all kind of goes together.
All right, well, my glasses are not with me, so you're going to have to read it.
Oh, okay, I'll read it.
I mean, I won't be able to do it quick because I just...
Okay, so everyone, just so you know, we're this is the Learning to Lose podcast, and there's like 50 episodes on... I'm feeling pretty good right now because I just remembered... It's not about the results. And that's why I love having you be a part of this because you're so disconnected from that. It grounds this because I don't want the whole learning to lose thing to become like an internet, like a validation, like likes, like fake. I don't want it to be that. I want it to...
It has to be real or else I'm not going to be interested.
Well, no, it is real. But like you said, I have to be careful.
You have to be careful. Because I can see you teetering on the line there.
Yeah, well, because I'm trying to keep everyone entertained. Right? So I just want to thank you for helping ground me. And I do think that like the obsession for validation and likes and followers is something very real that people are going through. And I've posted a lot about that on my TikTok page. I've posted on the page about how I'm starting to become addicted to this. And I've posted on the page about how I'm not that important, which is how I get the strength to post honest stuff. And some of the stuff I've been talking about helps a lot of people. But I just want to read a little bit of this Unabomber manifesto by Ted Kaczynski, just because it's pretty fucking incredible. Because he's basically saying technology is like ruining the human race, which I actually believe. But as long as it's here, I'm not going to go live in the fucking woods like he did.
Wait. So you... believe that it's ruining the human race?
Yes, because check this out. Dude, are you kidding me? Like, it's ruining the world. It's ruining the earth.
You've made arguments against it many times against it ruining the human.
Yeah.
You said it's a good thing.
Okay,
or why can't it be?
I believe he has a very, very valid point. Okay, so check this out. The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. They have greatly increased the life expectancy of those of us who live in advanced countries, but they have destabilized society, have made life unfulfilling, have subjected human beings to indignities, have led to widespread psychological suffering in the third world, to physical suffering as well, and have inflicted severe damage on the natural world. The continued development of technology will worsen the situation. It will certainly subject human beings to greater indignities and inflict greater damage on the natural world. It will probably lead to greater disruption and psychological suffering. It may lead to increased physical suffering, even in advanced countries. The industrial technological system may survive or it may break down. If it survives, it may eventually achieve a low level of physical and psychological suffering, but not only after passing through a long and very painful period of adjustment, and only at the cost of permanently reducing human beings and many other living organisms to engineered products and mere cogs in the social machine. Furthermore, are you following? Are you understanding? Yeah. Furthermore, if the system survives, the consequences will be inevitable. There is no way of reforming or modifying the system so as to prevent it from depriving people of dignity and autonomy. 9 to 5. People go to work and they work 8 hours a day doing something they hate just so that the system can continue to operate because of technology, so that we can push a button on our phone and get our groceries delivered. Now, Joe Rogan talks about this a lot. He talks about moving to Colorado, and you've been listening to the Joe Rogan. You know how they talk about like self-sustaining and Victoria.
Yeah, but I've heard arguments in both directions.
Well, my argument for it is that, okay, this is what's happening, and although there's a really valid argument to be made for whether or not it's good for humanity, I think it's obviously proven to be bad for the ozone layer, and animals are going extinct. I mean, that's just obvious. But now that we are in this position, I only have one choice, and that is to be optimistic about the future. Meaning that I think that I'm hoping that technology will help us solve some of these problems, right?
Well, yeah, it depends. It depends where the money is. If there's money in solving the problems, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it comes down to individuals.
I mean, but like, look at Elon Musk, for example. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's and you listen to the podcast with what's his name, the guy. On the Joe Rogan podcast, he's talking about like just create your own system that works, and then everyone else will like adopt it. Do you remember that one?
No, I mean, there's so many.
Mm-hmm. This one was like the best one I ever heard. You told me.
Naval?
Yes, Naval. Naval was saying how rather than like complaining and being negative about all the shit, figure out a way to do it, and then everyone else will jump on board. Like, for example, like this stuff I'm doing, the Learning to Lose and this reality show and all, like, Ridge was like going a certain way, and I instead of trying to like convince Tim, like, dude, you got to help me with this, like, I just like did it, and now he's jumping in. I mean, how could he not?
Right? How could he not?
So yeah, and I can afterwards I can show you the reality show like teaser that we made, Learning to Lose with the Ridges, and it's like me and Veronica like fighting and then like making up, and me like ranting about like Archimedes.
So it's switched from the production company to
no, it's not switching, because Ridge Production will still be a major part of like how we execute this show. But if we can get a show on Netflix, I was in the shower earlier thinking about how this could be like a really dope like new wave, like Netflix show. It really could. Because I mean, I'm not like, you know, some like Duck Dynasty is like Duck Dynasty and Orange County Housewives and Pawn Stars, and it's not like really that like relevant. Like this is a show that would be centered around like TikTok, sobriety, hair, celebrity, like Hyper Crush, Ridge Production, and we shoot like celebrities, and we're like Bella Thorne, and like we're like in the
and you got like a motley crew to bring interesting things.
Yeah, and the way we edit and the way we like make content, it could just be fucking dope. And I'm like at first it was like, oh, maybe like but now I'm like, you know what? Like this, let's like really go for it. And my boy, Tall's hopefully going to help us. I don't know, man. I love that guy so much. I don't know if he's listening. I just thought about him potentially listening to this, but yeah, he's going to hopefully help me maybe bring someone by here next week and who works for, she produces like big reality shows, and it's really cool to see like my friends like Tall and Aaron believing in.
So would you have a crew in here, or would you just have cameras or something?
I don't know, but we've already made some pretty cool content without one. So I feel like, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm ranting again.
Well, that's fun and exciting.
I think we should go back to the chasing likes, because you were talking about.
Well, I had a couple things I would like to talk about just for fun.
Let's do that. Enough about fucking me.
Well, the chasing likes, like, you know, it's, for one, it's a cultural like weirdo phenomena, especially for me, because I was born 1970. Mm-hmm. So I grew up, you know, playing with sticks and riding BMX bikes. Video games weren't.
I'm sorry. I just took off Veronica's. This is fucked up.
Oh, dang it! What?
She has zero respect. It's fucked up.
And Pat just broke a $3,000 lens setting up. He is so hyped up. I hope. Whatever. That sucks. Woo-wee.
Oleg, I'm doing a podcast. Can you please like keep your door closed? Like I can hear the music on my.
Anyway, my 6-year-old is like already into likes, and it's just a trip, you know, me being ancient and coming from a different time.
So I'm listening. You were saying you grew up with sticks and
Sticks and stones.
Yeah, so keep going. I'm just gonna.
Was just a weird cultural thing, because I've heard people talking, and it's like talking about likes and views is just a normal part of life now. Yeah, and it's really bizarre to me, maybe to a lot of people, but it's a definite thing. And then some little technology comes on, and it all kind of switches to this or to that, but it's all about likes and views, comments. And that's like your social status. Now you kind of, who you are in the world is your views and your likes. Like that's one of the things. And, you know, maybe before it was the car you drive or whatever, your career.
Yeah, how much money you made.
How much money you make, or, you know, your skill, your art, whatever. But now you could just, I don't know, you could just be anybody. You could be making fart noises, and if it gets enough views and likes, then that's your thing. Like, you know what I mean? That's just.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
But here's the thing that concerns me, so I'll just get right to it. So I've heard this, that the suicide rate in teenage girls has gone up because of social media, because now you're not only bullied at school, you go home and you're never free of the bullying, and the person saying it is not, and they're distant, they're remote, so they'll say some nasty shit and maybe not even mean it.
Someone just wrote, it's all about social image, keeping up with the Joneses mentality. Listen to him, Pat. No, it's so funny. Like a part of the conversation.
Who's the Joneses? That sounds familiar.
Like keeping up with the Joneses, like keeping up with Kim Kardashian, like you're looking at that and you're comparing yourself to that, and it's like you might as well just kill yourself. Keeping up with the Joneses is a phrase. You've never heard it?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
But I didn't quite know what that meant.
It just means like, comparing yourself to the...
So my concern is my little 6-year-old cute little girl is just watching gamers on YouTube, wondering about likes already. And the thing is that especially girls are so mean to each other in middle school, right?
Know, it's
and like,
crazy.
so you may not even mean what you're saying, but you're just joining with your friends and picking on somebody through social media, but it's affecting the fuck out of that person, the victim.
For sure.
And suicide rates are going up in teenage girls, and that's like one kind of scary, weird thing.
But let me just ask you this though. What was your favorite band? What's one of your favorite bands?
Black Sabbath.
So when Black Sabbath put out their first record, what do you think they were paying attention to? This is literally album sales. It's a number.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. How is that any different?
Because they're not attacking people.
Well, people were definitely attacking them in the media, and they were being judged, and it's just the same. Like, attacking and bullying aside, let's just focus on likes and views, right? So a New York Times best-selling book is a New York Times.
Yeah, nothing's changed. It's just different. It's a different way.
Just, instead of an album sale or a book sale or a positive review.
Except for now, it's every individual.
Every individual has a voice and has a say.
Yeah.
And rightly so. And some of them are going to be fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I love this conversation.
Well, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just like, it's very bizarre. It's very bizarre where 20 years ago, this wasn't even happening. 10 years ago, we had cell phones, but...
I stopped because of AA. AA is how we stopped. And this is my sponsor. And this is how she can't even fathom not drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. Or,
I know,
drugging.
It's funny because I was actually talking to one of my sponsees. Can you believe I have like 3 sponsees?
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, I haven't talked to Jordan in a while. If he's listening, call me, motherfucker. But you met Scott, and yeah, it's cool, man. Because I was talking to him, and it really did take me.
Jordan seems like a loony bird, man.
Right. Well, now if he's listening, fuck. Yeah, I mean...
Well, that's cool. I mean, we all come in fucking crazy and shit.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the sooner you realize you're crazy, the better off you're going to be.
For sure.
But yeah, so the likes... you're right. It is bizarre. You know what, though? Like, I'm, like, excited about it because I just accept it for what it is. And, like, I mean, if you really think about it... Thank you so much, Amber. If you really think about it and you go, okay, positivity, inspiration, love, no fear, no guilt, no shame. I love myself. God, will you be with me? I'm going to be okay no matter what. I love my daughter. I love my dogs. I love my wife. My life is so good. I'm so grateful to be alive and to be breathing. And I have this LaCroix. God, it's so good, right? And then there's this Instagram thing, and I can put anything I want up there. I can post a photo of the page in the book that inspired me to have a better day. I can just post that to the world, and I can just pull out my phone and I can just say something, anything I want to say, and another person can hear me say that, and I can put music to it so it touches them. And I mean, dude, I'm just like so interested, and it's so magnificent if you think of it that way. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, you feel where
I know exactly where you're coming from,
right.
But you're on the crazy train too. So I hear
don't know.
you.
Am I like, I don't know. Am I like, I've just believed in something for...
Dude, I like it.
Yeah, and you know what? You kind of got to be a little bit crazy, I think. And you got to be a little bit delusional.
I like this aspect of it anyway.
Yeah, you have to be, but I definitely think I'm trying to encourage Billy to download TikTok so that he can start helping some of the people that I've been helping, because I think that you have a different, I just think that this message of experience, strength, and hope that we talk about, but you know, it's okay if you don't, or actually, you know what, you just need to get logged into learning to lose one, so that if you are,
I'll do it.
If you are inspired one day, you can.
I'm gonna do it. We'll do it all, but we'll have to work through the bugs.
Yeah.
No, my phone, like I'm behind on a payment or something, and it's not letting me do it.
See, I just love. It's just so cool, because I think that when it's like my brother. Okay, there's something about my brother that's so amazing, because he doesn't give a fuck about any of this shit, right? So when I capture him and put him on the social web, people, I love it, because it's like a person that doesn't belong in that. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I can, because I'm just so sick of like all the fucking cliche trends and all the people doing all the same shit, copying everyone else, and what's the fucking fashion trend, and what's the new fucking meme, and what's this, it's like, I'm just like, I just want to bring some like authentic, like punk rock. I'm trying to disrupt the system. That's really what I'm trying to do. So I'm actually with you. Fuck all this shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, what's that one saying? Use their game against them, or play them at their own, give them a taste of their own medicine, or if you can't beat them, join them, or what's the thing where you kind of, infiltrate the system and you use their techniques against them, kind of a thing, you know? Like, that shit works. You know, it's like kind of the only way, really.
To me, it just sounds like you're trying to keep punk alive.
For sure. And like Victoria was like, for sure I am, dude. But like, and Victoria Evigan was like, and I was arguing with Victoria about like that punk concept, and I was like, you can't really be punk rock without a message, you know? And what a better message to be talking about. So yeah, I mean, it is weird that this is what it's come to, and we just better either accept it and figure it out and embrace it. And actually, this is probably really good for you as a father to understand what this is, so that when your daughter enters this world, which she will inevitably, you have some sort of, you have like an idea of what it is. And dude, if you had like a presence, then she would like look up to you. Like, dude, I'm like Jamie, Jamie, like my little cousin, Kelly's daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like,
how old is she?
Looks
9.
Up. She's like idolizes.
12.
I don't know.
Okay.
Young, but she idolizes me and Veronica now.
Oh, really?
Well, because this is her, she's obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see the post I did for her?
No.
I'm like, Jamie, this is your chance. I'm going to shout you out to all my followers. And she was live on the screen, and I was like, I put some cool music to it. I'm like, why do you want people to follow you? And she's like, I don't know, because I'm like lonely, and I think I'm pretty interesting. It's like the cutest post ever. And I put like this cool music to it, and I wrote like, I'm going to do a social experiment and see how many people will follow her. And she's been trying to get to 100 followers for a year. And literally overnight, she reached like 500, and now she has like almost 700, and she's just like the most popular girl.
So is she posting all the time?
Yeah, she takes it very seriously. But I've been encouraging her to get more honest and talk more, because she's like dancing, and I'm just like, yo, you need to talk about like what it's like to be an 11-year-old.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I want you to talk about like, why is it important for you to have likes? And I'm like talking to her about how people don't want to see you dance. I mean, if you're really good, maybe they do, but like, I think you're going to really, and it's like what Gary Vee talks about. It's like, if you find your voice and who you really are as a person, like there will be no competition. And she's starting to do it, dude. She's starting to be really...
That's cool, because there's just something so interesting about being in someone else's head and someone who can describe like where they're at in life and how life is, and it's just interesting, you know, because it's different. It's
cool. The point I was trying to make is that I have a major influence over Jamie, a young girl.
Yeah.
And that's right on.
Yeah.
Because I can be a positive example for her, that it's cool to be sober. It's cool to talk about your feelings. It's cool to have humility and look, you shouldn't be like, "Ooh, I'm the cool girl with 600 followers." Like, help your friends. Help them, like, give them a shout out, you know? Don't like hold that against them, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's just kind of how I think about it, you know. But it is very, very difficult to build. It's very difficult. I mean, it's almost like, it's like if you only knew. Like, you remember when I used to post like the videos of us doing step work, and like it's just the same people saw that. Oh, fucking a couple hundred views, 2 comments, just for years.
Yeah.
Just like
I remember the Sheck West thing was the first like padang.
Yeah, but yeah, and that was like, oh, fucking 1 million, 2 million, but like it wasn't the right. It was like it was attracting people that.
It wasn't your crew, really. Your crowd.
It wasn't. They weren't like fit. I think we did get some fans. Does anyone know about the Sheck West thing? Or I don't know. It's just, if I would have continued to post that type of content, like me making fun of popular rappers, I would have blew the fuck up. But
it's kind of negative, though.
Yeah, I'm not trying to really do that, and that's not who I am. And it was just an isolated incident. So I think a lot of people that came over from that found me on Reddit. It blew up. So it's actually a lot more. It's so funny because just talking about this is actually helping me a lot right now, because I've been struggling with, is this going to last? Am I going to be able to build this brand called Learning to Lose? If you want a shirt, you can go to learningtolose.com and get a shirt. We sold 6 last night. We've got 40 people in here now. See, it's kind of cool because people will come and then they'll leave, and then like 10 people will come and like 9 will leave. And then 10 more will come and 9 will leave. So it's like the people that are fucking down like that, we're back down to 38. So it's like, but if I'm like being like, if I'm like talking to the people, like I think that they'll stay longer. But yeah, the point I'm making is that it's better to build it slow over time and stay true to the message that you're, so that you can build.
All right. Well, after I take a pee, we can talk about some of that stuff, because if you want, or I don't know if it's going to bore the shit out of your audience.
No. This is for us. This podcast.
Okay, if it's for us, good.
Yeah.
Because it's all about this. It ends and it starts with your thoughts. Everything. From your thoughts come your actions, come your emotions,
100%.
come your life. And it's just such a trip, because it is all in your mind. It's a mind-powered life.
Yeah, it's
and you can change. You can truly change.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. That's literally what I was trying to say.
You can be a better person.
But that's what I was trying to say about like social media. If we just see it, if we can get our mind to see it as a tool for good.
Well, it has to be, right?
It has to be
for now.
Or else, yeah.
For today,
I mean, it can be. So yeah, I wish I had my. So can you guys hear what we're talking about? Frumpy, thank you so much for staying in. I'm starting to like really get to know who my real fans are. Sylvia Torres, shout out. We're talking about. We're doing the Learning to Lose podcast, which is my podcast. I'm just streaming it live because why not? And we're talking about how like life is what we make it, and it's only in our mind, right? So our external circumstances don't really... Whoa, Long Island, that's where my... oh, it's kind of hard to hear. Sorry, fuck. Maybe I'll like just do this. Probably be a lot easier to hear if you guys just like look at me like this. Is that better? Thank you so much, Frumpy. So someone just shouted out from Long Island. It's pretty cool. So yeah, it starts and it ends in our mind. I love that. Because if we're, there's been so many examples of like, millionaires and really successful people that are fucking miserable. So what's that all about? That just means that they're fucked up because their heads are telling them that their
thought life is fucked up.
Yeah, that's it. And then there's people in Bali that live in like cardboard huts that are just like smiling all the time. So it must be in our head. Actually, that's where it gets really trippy, is that the poor are actually happier.
Yeah. I watched a documentary on that.
Called Happiness?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of studies and stuff. I mean, I even noticed that myself when I was...
Oh, DDA's in here. Sorry, Billy. He said, I need some plants. Did DDA?
I'd love to. I would love to. Yeah.
Did he ever? Dude, DDA, I wish you could be here on the podcast right now. I was gonna text you, but I figured it was probably too late. It's all about perspective. Yeah, it really is all about perspective. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is where I go like kind of hard and deep because I suffer, and I've suffered tremendously, and most alcoholics have of loneliness. That's like a characteristic, but not only that, but
just
suicidal thoughts.
Trying to project your voice so that they can hear.
And
because there's 50 people in here now.
It's your consciousness, your experience that you're having of life, that I'm having of life, really is my thoughts. And so
yeah, it really is.
I'll go and I back it up with everything I read. Now I'm reading Jung.
Yeah.
And Jung I read As a Man Thinketh, and I read the Sermon on the Mount from Emmett Fox, and I read the AA literature.
He's talking about Carl Jung.
Jung.
Incredible.
What a trippy dude.
No, I don't think he's trippy at all. I think he's a fucking genius.
Well, if you read his childhood and stuff and how he came upon his ideas, he got them in dreams. Wow. He dreamed them, and then he was able at 8 years old to wake up from a dream and know what it meant.
Wow.
And that's where at
8 years old.
8 years old. And so he's a trippy dude.
So Carl Jung was analyzing his dreams at 8 years old.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff he talks about is like the subconscious and the ego, but I just like a lot of his quotes. I actually used one today. I kind of wish you could see some of the stuff I posted today about Sarah. That pain is understanding our pain is how we can I see your phone?
How we measure something?
No, it was something about how pain is actually...
See what, my phone?
Yeah, I'm going to show you. Well, yeah, because I just want to try to pull it up. And just make sure that that's not too stretched out, the mic.
Okay.
We're just talking about Carl Jung and how, they can't hear the other guy. They said they can hear me, but not the other guy. It's okay. We're going to figure out a better way to do this next time. But,
really?
Yeah.
You can't hear me? Okay, now I'm talking right in there.
No.
They can hear me now.
It's not picking up the mic.
Oh, that.
This is just picking up the outside.
I got you.
So what you want to do is you want to actually...
I should be sitting there and you should be sitting here because they can hear you fine.
Or you don't need to be so close to the mic. You can just talk like a little bit louder back here. And thanks for bearing with me, Billy, as far as like doing this. This is the first time I've ever done this. Next time I do it, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to pipe the mics into the phone.
So one of Pat's great talents is he can do 4 things at one time.
You guys, were you guys able to hear that? Did you guys hear what Billy just said? Oh, I can't download this. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I got to take care of that.
Yeah, we should try to do
Except my
that.
income is like gone decreased.
But it doesn't cost any money. Okay, so this was...
My second wife doesn't like her stepdad, but he's an alcoholic and addict.
I love him, but I hate him.
Right.
He just put us through a lot of bullshit.
He tried to kill himself a couple times.
Twice. Yeah, first time, got off of his opiates, became an alcoholic. Through that was put on a lot of psych medications, and then he shot himself up with something, almost died. My mom had to find him. Then he tried to hang himself, and he did, and he was successful. Almost died. He was dead. My mom found him in the closet, tried to cut him down. My mother.
Yeah, so that's why you hate him, is because she has to deal with the burden of his bullshit.
So then, asked for help, tried to go get help, left the rehab because he's a selfish piece of shit, came home, started drinking again, got physical with my mother. I just, don't want him around.
Yeah, well, that's what we do. Alcoholics are selfish and self-centered until we get sober and learn how to have some humility and be of service to other people.
So,
she needs help. That is the problem. Just as much as he does.
Yeah, exactly.
She enables it.
So this is Sarah's pain, right? And she's so amazing. Just the fact that she's willing to like talk about this stuff. And then this was the post I did right after that.
Gotta go down, you both gotta come up. We're about to go down.
What?
Put your phone down. I wanna.
It's kind of hard doing this with my phone.
And my thighs are burning.
We're just looking through Sarah's phone, trying to find these photos. And
It says, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. And I'm just talking, it's just more of a happy post about how she's able to talk about her pain and her suffering. And through that pain, she comes to consciousness, and she's a trainer, and she's helping us, and she's helping other people. And it was just kind of a way to, take something that was painful for her and just be like, your pain doesn't need to define you. And I like trying to bring, I think I'm kind of obsessed with this Carl Jung guy right now. And just reading his quotes, What was the quote that I just said?
Your pain is
coming. There is no coming to consciousness without realizing your pain. Carl Jung quotes. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. I mean, that's just, pain is the touchstone to spiritual growth. That's just more AA shit, really. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Oh, you want to know what my favorite one is? You show me a sane man, and I will cure him. So when you say I'm crazy, I'm like, all right, right on. Thank you. Show me a sane man, and I'll cure him. I didn't realize he was like so dope. Show me a sane man and I will cure him for you. These are just like, you can just Google Carl Jung quotes. But, so yeah, consciousness, pain. So life is what we make it. It's just hard to go to the positive shit sometimes when you get stuck in the negative.
Well, it's this realization, first of all, that you can actually have a different experience. Like believing that you can have a different experience.
Yeah,
and
really believing it though, like really believing it. Because I think I believe it, but then I don't really believe it.
Well, it comes and goes, and it's fleeting, and that's why daily contact with other alcoholics, reading literature, meditating. I even started a little feed. You're on it, like 4 or 5 people. It's so helpful. Like somebody will post something, like Courtney posted that optimistic thing.
Yeah, I love that,
dude. It brought me into a whole nother realm. So I've been ever accentuating optimism, like being like you said, oh man, this LaCroix is great. But I'm like, it's fucking great, man. and I'm feeling so good. And man, it's so nice to be surrounded by loving, interesting people and just going overboard with it, right? But then suddenly I'm feeling it.
Oh, shit.
And then what happens? What?
Movie recording has been stopped automatically. All right, I just started it again. Yeah, keep going. Sorry, I'm trying to... I need a fucking Jamie.
What?
I need a Jamie.
Oh, you need a Jamie. And like a catheter.
But you were just saying, keep saying about positivity.
Okay, so here's the weird byproduct and the interesting thing about going super optimistic. I put it on my challenge that I'm going to try to do this for 1 hour a day, the best I can, because the benefits have been so astounding in changing like my experience of life. And I become funny. I get like this funny bone and I start cracking Angela up, and like I lose all the fear and the pain and the resentment that I have with this relationship that's been very, very, very difficult for a couple of years. And basically we're broken up. She found some man that she's going to marry. It took her like 2 months, and I'm still supporting everybody and we're still living together as a family, but I'm able to look at it as all good and make jokes. And here's the thing about comedy. There's something divine about comedy. And I've been thinking more and more about this in like comics, that when you're laughing, you're feeling joy. And joy is like the pinnacle of experience. It's the pinnacle of feeling good. It's like a high. So that's divine, right? That it's like and you can actually create that in your own self.
Tell me you guys can hear what he's talking about right now. Can you please just tell me? Because I feel like what he's saying right now is so really amazing. I'm just in there listening, and I'm just like, that is exactly what I'm talking about. What would they say? You can't read that?
No, my
Perfect.
eyes.
Great stuff. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's dude, I don't even know how you're really handling a situation that would baffle you. That used to baffle you. I can't believe it. And that's
this has been a progressive thing, and the principle I learned before that.
I just want to say I'm really proud of you for being able to do that. That's the Superman. That's the guy. Because she's laughing. Oh my God, she's laughing at you. She loves you. And she's now laughing at you, and you're making her happy.
Well, the coolest thing is to know that you can make someone laugh.
And you want to know what? It's the most important thing in winning a girl's heart. Are you kidding me? If a guy's funny, game over. That's all he needs to be.
But it's like a new discovery in myself, because I've always been like the depressed, quiet, whatever guy, but through, all this, through AA and through everything, and even through the pain, you just don't give a fuck, and you're willing to take some chances, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I always say is like...
But it's not giving a fuck in a good way. Like, God, like, I'm good. I'm just going to let the fear and resentment and pain go. I had this other realization not this long ago, when the CBD incident had happened. And I had like this realization that nothing is useful or worthwhile in life except love and kindness. Simple as that. No good is going to come from anything but love and kindness. And then you can bring up an argument like, well, what if someone's going to kill you and your family?
I got a lighter? Please.
And blah, 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 blah.
Never mind.
Anyway, Pat keeps throwing me off.
No, I hear you. There's nothing, that's the only thing that's worth...
But I've been having these
anything.
deep insights at a visceral level, and this comedy divinity thing, it's been very interesting, and
I think some of the most depressed, insane, or like dark people are comedians, and that's a fact.
I have heard that.
George Carlin, Bill Murray, Louis C.K., all the best comedians are fucking... one of my favorites, Ricky Gervais. I mean, Ricky Gervais it doesn't get any more dark. You know Ricky Gervais? I mean, he has a show called Afterlife about like his life after his wife kills herself. And it's the pain, it's horrific, but he gets through it. And Ricky Gervais is the guy that went crazy on the Golden Globes and just shit on all the celebrities. You know Ricky Gervais, the English guy? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not that pop culture literate.
I think you probably would know him. I think that's incredible. And I can definitely relate. And I was talking about this today.
But it's a freedom.
Or
you know, like, you know the band Bad Brains?
Yeah.
So this concept has been around for a long time. So he's real big on PMA. You know that song PMA? I don't know, it's a super fast song. You can't even really tell what he's saying, but it's positive mental attitude. And he's like on that tip. It's the only thing that works.
Yeah.
We're calling it optimism, and the optimism is it's not sarcastic, but dude, when you find something that works where you can go from like hell to heaven, it's amazing. And anyway, I wanted to share it. That's all. Yeah. And then the comedy thing, it's just astounding because not only am I making her laugh, but I'm laughing.
Yeah.
And when you're laughing, you're feeling, it's not like a mean laugh. It's, when you crack up, like you really crack up, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's hard. I haven't been able to. I feel like I'm on the come down now.
Oh, maybe you need this over here so you can talk to your peeps.
No.
No?
No, I don't need anything. I mean, here's what it is. When you've been to that dark place where your life was like barely worth anything and you really didn't care if you were going to live or die, there's a surrender in that. And you were just kind of talking about that. Like, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. And it's like, when you get to I was just talking to Derek about this, my sponsee in Kentucky. It's like, you need to admit complete defeat. We read the first chapter. We read the first paragraph of the first chapter in the 12 and 12. We fucking started. It's 11 o'clock in Kentucky, and he calls me, and I'm like, I talked to him for like 30 minutes. And then I was like, you know what, dude? Let's just read a chapter. So we read a chapter. And he's like, I don't really understand. What do they mean, like bankruptcy as a going concern, like as a human concern? And I was like, I love the way they put that. It's so artistic and articulate. It's like, I'm spiritually bankrupt as a going human concern. Like any human, emotionally bankrupt, financially bankrupt, spiritually bankrupt, physically bankrupt. I look like a fucking piece of shit. He's skinny, couldn't eat. It's just, and alcohol is the rapacious creditor. And your will gets bent to its demands. And for him, I used the analogy of the needle. I said, when that needle's calling, you are fucking powerless. You're going for it.
Was it heroin you said?
Yeah. And the only way I can experience any freedom or joy or happiness is by just letting go completely.
That is such a profound statement. What is that? It's that chick, right? And freedom is just another way of... How does it go?
Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin. How does it go?
Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Fucking me and Bobby McGee.
Oh, that song, yeah.
See, I you know what? I can't remember when it was that I noticed that lyric and how profound it was. And I use it in my AA talks for all the old people that think I'm just.
Well, I can totally relate because I've been there, and it is a certain kind of freedom. I think that's almost why I wanted to stay there, homeless and just.
Yeah, like I'm not free. I got
No, me
way
neither.
too. I got way too much to lose, and today I was just in so much anxiety. I was in so much anxiety, and I felt so much pressure because my dream is starting to come true, and I'm like so afraid to lose it, and I'm so obsessed with making it become successful and growing it and spreading this message. And should I post a video? Should I not post a video? What should I? It's just, I'm obsessed, and I just have so much to lose. That's why it's almost ironic that
Learning to lose.
well, yeah, for sure. but it's also, what's ironic is that the very thing that I'm trying to promote and build is based in these principles. So I'm forced into right thinking because the very thing I'm obsessed with is all about that concept. It's kind of a weird like manipulation. I'm so manipulative and smart, and I can always figure out a way to get my way and manipulate people into working with me and working for me and hire, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
No, not really.
I mean, look at all the people working for me.
Yeah.
I just convinced them that they should work for me. I don't know. I convinced Veronica she should marry me. Why would Veronica marry me?
Who you convince to work for you? The people who want to work for you, they're gonna work for you.
Right here.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I'm watching your...
Please, Oleg.
Don't,
Please.
Don't.
I will pay you
How much?
$50. I swear to God, I'll give you $50 to say what you were just about to say on the mic.
Are you kidding me? I'll say this for free.
Okay, come say it, because he's so right. I convinced Veronica to marry me. Why the fuck?
Well, what do you mean convinced
Yeah,
her?
yeah,
If
I
she
don't
didn't want to marry you, is she?
Look, we're just manipulative. You know what I'm saying?
We?
All
Now you're putting me in there?
all alcoholics. No, right? Isn't that what we do?
I think everybody is.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to get their way, right?
But alcoholics especially.
Maybe some people are better at it.
Yeah. I maybe I'm just over demonizing my I just think it's actually, you know what, if I'm being totally honest, it's genius. Creating a brand and a lifestyle and a way to make money around the very thing I need to be. It's perfect. It's exactly what I want. But I just think there is a lot of irony there, because like it's pulling me out of the...
Well, you know, anyone who creates their own business that actually sustains and thrives, from what my stepdad says, it's not the unusual. It's
Right.
not common.
Right.
So even me and my little plant business, and Oleg and his and yours, like, that's uncommon. Usually that does not happen or work.
But in today's day and age, everyone has an opportunity to be that. And when someone posts a photo on Instagram, they're building their brand. So the world is sort of changing.
You're branding yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's like weird. So wait, Oleg, you don't think you don't think that...
Look, he's got your shirt. That's dope.
I know. It's really cool. I wish you wore white. Oleg, what do you think learning to lose means?
I don't know.
You have no idea.
I mean, if you're losing something, you need to learn.
Right.
And you need to figure out why.
But do you understand freedom
Freedom?
is just another word for nothing left to lose? So, because when you have nothing in your life, you're actually free, because you're not worried about losing anything.
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes. You're right.
So what do you have that you're worried about losing?
Everything.
Do you worry about that?
Yeah. Who not worry? Like, there's like 0.0.0% of people.
But that's what we're talking. We're talking about figuring out a way to train our brains to have enough faith to where we don't need to worry about losing shit. That's what you're talking about with the optimism. Because you can't really be optimistic without faith.
It's a chain. If you like losing something, then like you're gonna like stress out, blah 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 blah, and then your health's gonna go bad. It's like a chain.
But what if you could just go through life and not...
You have to have faith to be optimistic. Because I'll tell myself things. I'm going to get the hottest girl. She's going to be perfect for me. Angela's dude's going to be awesome. Like, everything's going to be good for everybody, right?
Yeah, and that's like, it could. I mean, that's a world...
It's possible.
And that's... call me delusional, call me crazy, call me whatever. I don't know why I'm so fucking nuts, but I've... Since I lost... Well, even before that, man, I grabbed my best friend... Steve, and I said, look, let's make some music and let's just do that for the rest of our life. Because it's an optimistic way of thinking. Although the whole time I'm like in this negative mindset and I'm like struggling and I'm like, it's like, how do you find the balance?
I don't think you need to have the negativity.
Yeah, but like, how do you not get upset when you put something out? Oh, like, do you get upset when you post a photo and it doesn't? What is your average amount of likes that you get on a photo?
As soon as I change account for business, it's like depends on the person.
Okay, so what's the
like for example, like president of Ukraine, there was like around like 1,500, and then just regular guys, girls like 150, 200, 300, and if it's like really, really like celebrity in Russia or Ukraine, there's like 300, 400, 500, 600. So it all depends.
Okay, so let's say you post a photo that's one of your favorite photos. What are you doing on your phone?
I'm posting my photo.
Let me see.
No, I'm just checking out there.
What are you checking?
Doesn't matter. Come on, speak.
Can I ask you a question, Oleg?
Yeah.
So what is your goal? Kind of your dream to be an accomplished and do here?
My dream to be a photographer, published photographer, also a director, and just shoot. That's my dream. That's my goal.
When you say director, do you mean like films or like photos?
No, like the films as well. But like right now, I'm just like trying to make music videos happen. And like if I can direct movie, that would be different story.
But would it have to be?
But like the first place is basically photography.
But would it have to be in Ukrainian?
What do you mean?
The movie?
No. Why would? Why would it should be in Ukraine?
Well, I just think because directing like English would be a little bit difficult.
Like I direct you, just go and give me coffee. You understand that? Or it should be on the Ukrainian language.
How awesome is his voice, though?
Yeah.
It's like so rad. Do you know that there are people that are like, I'm addicted to Oleg's voice?
Yeah, there's something special. And if you told me to do something, I'd probably do it because there's a little bit of a commanding element there.
Yeah, he has like a deep kind of voice, and his accent is so, it's just such a cool.
So you want to be published, what does that mean, like in a magazine or something?
Yeah, like magazine, maybe like some commercial, like you, it's like a commercial you see on a TV, right? But there's also, you can see a commercial at the store, right? Some brand like, H&M, Guess or something. Mm-hmm. There's like, you see the big poster. Mm-hmm. So that's commercial, like also really good.
I see.
Oleg is pretty incredibly intuitive. And did I tell you what recently happened with Wickham?
Yeah.
Did he was a big baby and he burned his bridge?
I'm actually worried about him. I'm worried he doesn't hurt himself. And if he's listening, I want him to know that I love him, and I really hope he doesn't, But they're just saying. One time I called my sponsor when I first got sober. No, this is serious, Oleg. And I said, I don't understand. I don't feel like I want to live anymore.
Who said that?
I did. My first sponsor, Kevin Curtin. He's actually been following me recently. I want to meet up with him again, and we should all do a podcast together. He's pretty cool. He actually relapsed while he was sponsoring me. I had 6 months and he went out. He had like a bunch of years, but now he's sober again. And he said, if you kill yourself now, you're killing the wrong person. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. But when he said it at the time, it was pretty profound because the new character hadn't been built yet, or even had been starting to get built yet. But I'm worried about Wickham because I just want him to know that if he hurts himself or kills himself, it's going to be the wrong person, and he still hasn't.
Yeah, no, we can see the good guy in there, but it's just it's a hard road and sometimes a long road.
But Oleg was saying that he always kind of knew.
Kind of knew what?
You kind of were always able to see
Wickham?
who he really was.
No, like I'm not talking about Wickham, just in general, people.
So what do you think about Billy?
Oh boy,
He's good.
that's okay.
He's good.
What about me?
You're good too, but like you really like. I told you like 1,000 times about it.
Yeah, but I want you to tell me again so everyone can hear.
I forgot. You're really gnarly like guy. Like you like. I don't know how to explain that. You like. You like deep inside. You're really like amazing person, like with a big heart. But outside, you like I don't know, like you like hurricane. You like like really like something. And if people they kind of like see you the first time, they're like, as I saw you first time, like, well, what the fucking crazy guy. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, when was the first time you met me?
At the Mika's house. It was like 6 years ago. 6 years ago.
Oh, when she had that like nice house.
Yeah.
And what was your first impression?
You're crazy, like tattoo and your voice, like, "Rah, you always loud, like you, like, because the small percentage, the people like you, like the loud and like with the deep voice and hey, what's up, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so do you think that? What do you think?
And he's sort of aggressive and in your face too, like
Yeah, right.
I think I might need to be more conscious of projecting like love. Well, when I'm being intense, I think sometimes that could be misunderstood as
for sure.
yeah, and I'm not aware of that because inside of my head, inside of my heart, my intensity is not meant to be aggressive or hostile. It's meant to be like it's coming from a place of inspiration. But because of the nature of how I was brought up, like, you know, Noah would always like say this to me. He'd be like, yo, like, you're like, I used to have this knife that I would fuck with, open it, and I would be like yelling at Noah. And he's like, yo, dude, you're like, you have a knife in your hand right now and you're like yelling at me. Like, you need to chill. And I was like, no, I'm not like, and I just.
Can I ask another question, Oleg? So,
No.
No?
No.
Well, I'm gonna. I want you to answer one more question. But this one might be a weird one. So what about you? Like, you just told us what we're like. What do you like?
What do you like? What
kind of person are you?
I'm a really bad person because I'm always trying to say truth, and that truth is like hurt somebody.
Say
It's
truth?
truth.
What's that? Truth. Oh, okay.
And it's
That's pretty profound.
and it's like all the time hurts people. So I'm trying to like be calm and not talking too much, because if I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna tell the truth. So I hate lying. Yeah, sometimes I lie. Yeah, definitely. But
He's definitely one of the most honest people I've ever met.
I hate lying. So like, if you're not gonna ask me something, I'm not gonna tell you anything. So I'm rather like, or like if you're gonna ask me like, oh, what do you think about me? So, or I'm gonna like give you the honest answer and hurt you, or maybe like I'm not hurt you, but you're gonna like mad at me, or I'd rather like not say anything and just like turn around and go away.
Like, for example, I've asked him, like, we just recently had this thing where we did this, we did a video for FaZe Clan. We did like this commercial for A Quiet Place too. And it was a big deal. It was like a fucking $30,000 job. And I thought it looked pretty good. And I asked him what he thought, and it was just, it was hard to hear.
What did he say? Just it looks like shit? Or?
Pretty much. Like, he's that guy. And I actually love him for it.
Here is
I really
like,
do.
Here's the thing, like, I'm pretty much never say this is like look like shit without any like evidence or pointing on those things.
He was, he was basically saying, this is blown out. Why is there so much light here? There's shadows. Like, one guy is creating a shadow on another guy, which means that the viewer can tell that it's not real light. It's a fake light, and you're not supposed to notice where the light's coming from. It's supposed to be emulating the moonlight, and the moonlight doesn't really cast a shadow when you're walking in a field. So he was just pointing out some of the flaws in the production. And I was trying to defend myself by saying, first of all, I wasn't there. Second of all, we had limited amount of time, and we had limited amount of guys and lights. And he was like, that's bullshit. And he's kind of right, because had Troy had more experience, had my guys had more experience, they probably would have moved the lights a little bit, and they probably would have done a little bit of a better job. But in that moment, I was incapable of hearing what he was saying, because I think his delivery was, you know what? It's not even about him. I wasn't able to hear it because I'm a fucking insecure, narcissistic.
Well, it's hard to hear.
It's hard to hear.
Yeah.
No, but like, if I would say this is like a piece of shit and just turn around and go away, that would be like something.
You taught him. I'm sure he's going to know those things now, right? In the future.
Well,
so that's a good thing.
Yeah, he taught me, and I would hope that he learned something too, because sometimes you are limited in what you can do when there's a client that doesn't know what they want, or they don't know how to execute, but they think they do, or they hire a certain person to be in charge who's rushing you and expecting. It's just hard to work with people.
You just like talking about two different things. What the client want and what the result is, and you were asking about the result. That's totally different things.
Yeah. But I was trying to defend myself by saying the client.
Yeah, there's like so many reasons. Yeah, there's so many reasons you can like.
And what I should have just been like is like, oh yeah, you're right. There is a shadow on him. Like, why the fuck would I get so defensive right away? Also, I did, in my defense, I had him take screen grabs, and we sent it to Troy, and I don't know. I'd love to see the final result that was posted. Yeah, where the fuck? Oh, I can't use.
So you said you're bad, but you don't mean you're bad. You're just bad because you tend to upset people.
Yeah, like I like like there's some sort of people, they could like lie you like in front of your face, right, next to the face, and they'd be like really good guys. Hey, what's up? You're looking good. Oh, you're looking like 16 years old boy. Oh my God,
you can
Billy, you're so gorgeous. Like, oh my God, 16 years old. Like, yeah, like why? Like, what you eating? Like, like, yeah, I can lie like that, but I hate that. I just hate when the people do that. Yeah. So yeah, that's like, and I'm like, I'm really egoistic. Like, I know that.
You're what?
Egoistic.
Ego,
yeah.
Yeah. Egoistic. How would you say that?
It sounds right to me. Egoistic?
Yeah,
Ego?
no, he's
Well, you think you know. Is that what you mean? Like, what do you mean egoistic?
Like selfish a little bit. In some sort.
Yeah, but you also are super like.
No, but like but I'm like to help people. Really like to help people.
He's got a big ego, like me.
We're really similar, but I have a nicer face. when I'm not fat, right?
Egomaniacs with inferiority complexes.
Right, I guess that's me too. Yeah.
What are we looking at in there? Can you see how many people are in there still? Can you guys hear us?
Where does it say how many people?
Top left.
56.
That's rad. But you're working on it.
Who?
You.
Not really.
Really?
So, do you think you're going to accomplish this published thing? I mean, what are you doing to do it? I'm like
Right now, just building IKEA stuff, and like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Like, right now, everything is like
right now it's crazy. But
crazy, yeah. So, but yeah, like I was shooting some like big celebrities like Kobe Bryant here.
You have,
Yeah.
but it's not published.
No, there is commercial for airline.
So
It's
it is.
published. Yeah.
Oh, so you're doing it.
But this like that's not often as I want to do that.
Right,
I want to
more,
do it like
more.
kind of like
Regular.
So
How did you get Kobe? I mean, just
through my friend, they asked a friend because he was doing a video, and do you know somebody who can shoot Kobe?
just network.
Yeah.
That's how
So
everything
it-
happens, huh? I'm starting to realize that.
Yeah, and it's really like hard for me because I'm a new guy here, like couple years, and the network is everything. Like I wish like sometimes I'm feeling like I wish I could be here like since like 20, you know? But then like back there, like but I wouldn't be myself if I would be here at 20, so I didn't get any like experience from Ukraine. Because like all my experience is based on Ukraine, right? And I was shooting like celebrities over there, like all the celebrities plus president of Ukraine.
So if you
and,
went back there, would you be able to make a good living better than you are here right now?
it's no, I would be good, yeah, but because like I have my own apartment, I don't need to pay for apartment, right?
dude, this guy's still like.
But you own your own
There are
apartment?
people in the Ukraine
yeah.
that fly him out just to do shit. For
Yeah,
them.
so-
if he went out there, I think that you would get a lot.
Oh,
of,
so you're renting it out right now?
No. So you see, like I have my own apartment in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here I'm renting, so I'm spending money right here.
Yeah.
So in Ukraine, I don't need to spend that a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So it's
well,
like
everything is cheaper in the Ukraine.
plus cheaper, but
His mom, he said his mom lives in this apartment that he has.
Oh.
grandma.
He pays for her to live there.
Oh, so you're paying rent here and there.
How cool is that?
That's nice.
Such a good guy.
Yeah.
Except for when, we're shooting in the sand dunes and
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Shut
man,
up.
that's so hilarious when you walk away with the chair. I love that. Yeah.
Like you again brought it up, and two people telling you was wrong, and you brought it up and accept that.
But here's the thing, and I want to show you this.
I feel bad for you, too. You had to ride in that car because he freaks you out when he drives, right? It's like, yeah.
Like like I'm a crazy driver. Like literally, like I'm speeding up all the time. The only rule, like braking all the time, it's speed limit. I'm using my blinker even like on a parking lot, like next to all the grocery
Dude,
stores.
no, this guy freaks me out. I'm stressed out when I drive with him.
Wait, why are you?
I don't even want to go like 2 blocks.
How do you know that that's what was happening the whole time that he was? Did you see a video where he was
I saw him freaking out in the back seat, and then you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh man, he was doing it the whole way." Or
the
something.
whole time?
But I can relate.
I felt so bad because I'm like on one, and
Plus you're all hyped up and
but
everything.
like you have to understand, like some of the footage that we got out there, because I wanted to get it's probably going to be how we're going to sell this show.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? Because and thank God Oleg had the wherewithal. I mean, Oleg thank God he captured that, because once the switch was flipped, that's what we needed to capture. And he recorded with his camera. Even though he was angry,
Were you
he
pissed?
still recorded.
I hate when people like breaking the rules. Like I just hate it.
No. I'm saying what I'm saying is.
So
that,
you were like pissed off.
No, but he's talking about when I was driving.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm talking about when we started fighting in the sand dunes and you recorded me, and that's on the YouTube. We just posted it.
Yeah, but you never paid me for that.
I
Yes, you paid.
yeah, but I'll pay you more. Like you don't
Pay
understand.
me more.
Like
Yeah,
that
right now. Just went with me.
That footage we got.
No, why you laughing? Go and pay me.
Can you just say hi? She's like there. She's the favorite.
Wait, how do you still have money? You have income?
No, I'm just giving him $100.
No, I'm like.
I've actually been spending like barely any money. Like I'm spending like 200, like for groceries like every other week, and that's pretty much like it.
You're paying the plant guy.
Yeah, 150. But I always try to keep like money in my savings, so I'm like okay. It's going down, but
Is Tim okay?
no. He's going to Vegas to shoot something this weekend though.
For somebody else?
Yeah, but I want to show you something. We're pretty good here. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for coming on, Oleg. And I'm gonna wait. Maybe Veronica.
Yeah, I'm VIP guest. So
Veronica's here, and maybe she can say. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about on this one? I know it was kind of all over the place. I still think it was really good.
No.
Yeah.
Or I could tell some weird story like I did last time about like the kidnapping or something. That's always kind of fun.
Yeah, let's do it. You guys ask them if they want to hear a story.
You want to hear some weird story from my weird childhood? Last time we talked about when I was kidnapped in Topanga Canyon.
you really was kidnapped?
I was, yeah.
What the fuck?
You guys want to hear a weird story from my sponsor? Yes. Nina said yes. Yes. 3 people said yes. All right, that's enough for me. So this is Billy, my sponsor, and we are doing the Learning to Lose podcast. And I'm sorry if you can't hear it. Next time I do it, we're going to try to pipe the audio into the phone. But let's hear a story from Billy.
Oh, jeez. A weird childhood story.
Well, I mean, I guess we could preface it by saying that Billy grew up in
San Fernando Valley mostly.
But wait, what about the circus shit?
Oh, okay, that's kind of fun. So my mom was in the Ringling Brothers Circus. She was a trapeze artist. So my mom and my dad met at Muscle Beach at Hot Dog on a Stick, where the Santa Monica Pier is. I think it's still there. My dad is this big, freaking burly, like Adonis muscle guy. He used to work out with Arnold before Arnold really took up. My mom went out with Arnold.
Really?
There's a picture of Arnold feeding me bananas when I was a baby. But
Wow.
what was this? The circus. Yeah. So she used to do this thing. She would hang by her teeth and like spin around.
Uh-huh.
And so she was in the circus. And you know, my mom's pretty badass. She was a climber in the 60s when there was like maybe no women climbing. She would climb in Yosemite. Some of my earliest memories are campgrounds in Yosemite. And then she got pregnant with me, and that's when the circus ended. That's kind of an interesting story, right? Is that enough? Do you have one?
Well, when I was here, pass me that. Veronica, can you just say hi real quick? We're gonna have Veronica come in here for a second.
Veronica, she's the favorite. Oh, your ticker talkers like her the best.
Well, Veronica is, yeah, she's a little bit easier to like, and she's a little bit.
I could see that.
Here, you want to just say you have to use the mic.
No, I don't.
Did you know that his mom was in the circus
Yeah.
and dated Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, that part I didn't know.
She says he was a motherfucker and he slapped her ass or something, and that was the last date.
Wow. So
Yeah.
when I
Not
was
a motherfucker, just a rude dude.
right, well, I'm sure he was super driven at the time, trying to become like the world's best bodybuilder. And when you have a dream and you're that driven, it's hard to be nice to.
I wonder if he remembers her.
Right.
Anyway.
Do you have any interesting stories about me or you or anything?
I feel pretty drained for my day.
What was your day? What'd you do?
Well, I just got off Skype, not a Zoom, whatever, with 3 people from Russia, and for a couple of weeks now, we've been going through the vocabulary, like creating terminology list. Mm-hmm. And today was the first time that we try to put words together, and it was really, I'm exhausted from it. Like, my mouth even hurts.
Words like you were trying to communicate?
I've grown up speaking Russian, so conversational, it's not a problem. But when it comes to like hair terminologies, my mom's not a hairdresser. I don't know those words. My Russian teacher doesn't even know Russian words. I haven't seen her in a couple of years anyway, so.
Try to speak as loud enough for the. No, just for these people.
Oh, so even when I like do get to see my Russian friends, like when he went with me to Russia, or when I see them at like they come to U.S. Redken stuff and we talk to each other, it's tiring because I can hear the words when like my parents say, like I understand Russian better than I speak it. So, but when I try to speak it, like my mouth gets tired because it's moving differently, and like it's in my subconscious. Because I know the words if you say them to me, but brain to mouth is so it's like it actually really just wipes me the fuck out. Like
I see, because you're using a lot of brain capacity and like interpreting and all that stuff.
Yeah, so like always my mouth is sore and it's like tired. And we kind of were just, well, it's not funny for you guys, but we were just joking that usually when you drink it helps because it loosens you up and like the words are there. Like it's the craziest feeling. I'm sure you've had it where you're like, what's the word? And it's like, you can like somewhat like hear it. You can like somewhat, you're like, it starts with well, imagine like hearing the word in your mind and your brain, but you cannot get your mouth to say it. It's the fucking craziest thing.
Kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, were you able to communicate?
Oh yeah, no, we did good. But it's just the first one of many. We plan on doing it for a while.
And so they don't know any English?
No, it's really cute. Like they're trying to stream together sentences too, and it's hard for them. So like we're all at the same place. I mean, if anything, they made me feel a lot better. They're like, you're actually a lot better than we are because I already have the up of like having been speaking Russian my whole life, where their English is pretty new for them. So yeah.
Did your parents make you do that? Like, was that a thing?
Well, I spoke Russian. It was technically my first language. And then once I started going to school, I was like embarrassed that I was the only Russian kid or something. So I didn't want to speak Russian anymore. So I came home and my parents would speak to me in Russian and I would always speak back in English unless I was with my grandparents. Then I would speak Russian or.
So
then that's why I lost the like art of speaking and I understood more.
Right.
Because they would talk to me, but I never really wanted to speak back in.
Were your parents born here or born there?
No, there. My brother was even born there. I was the first one born here. Oh. Yeah. So, then like, I don't know, 6 years ago or something, I decided to take lessons. And then of course going there, like that just helped my Russian a lot more.
How long were you there?
We were there like 10 days, I think. Because I worked for the first 4 and then it was gloomy. We chilled, but it was great. I loved it, actually. I was hoping to go back this year, but fucking Corona.
What did you love so much about it?
It's rare to go to a country, like another country, and like know the language and like it feels so familiar. So it was cool to just kind of like be with Russian, have conversations, go to restaurants and eat food I was like familiar with. And we didn't have great weather, but we had a really nice time.
Did you feel some kind of connection, like maybe heritage connection or something?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah, so other than that, what else did I do today? Fuck. I don't know. It's just crazy how fast the days are going. I remember like the beginning of quarantine, you're like, it's a fucking another day. And then like we adapt. We just manage to find shit to do, you know?
Yeah, so much to do.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm as busy as I've ever been. But not working, but working at home or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you owe me some plants, damn it.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. It's like I become incapable of doing things. Like I'm wondering once it goes back to normal if I'll be able to do what I used to do. I don't.
It's crazy. Well, like for example, like working out. Like typically you go to the gym, boom, you're in and you're out. But like when it's in your home, you're like, especially now that I'm working out with him, he's fucking a walking distraction. So it's like what used to take, 40 minutes now takes like an hour and a half. And then,
No.
And then,
It's the worst.
like my friend FaceTimed me today for advice on how to cut his fiance's hair. And so I like FaceTimed them and like walked them through it. And so like, you're just like, you're not seeing people. So you're like connecting. I feel like you're on the phone more. And then obviously like TikTok is new.
How's that for you? So that's,
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you feel like you have hundreds of new friends, and
Dude, this whole TikTok thing is so surreal that I'm like waiting for it to just like go away.
Well, I had that fear today because I got fucking banned for 3 days. And what's scary apparently about TikTok is that if you get, I don't know if this is true, but someone said if you get banned 3 times, they can delete your account and someone can just report you. But I will say I did get a warning. So then when I got the warning, I was like, oh, okay, let me put on shorts. But it just like apparently was.
She got banned because she went live earlier today and our trainer Sarah was cupping her. I actually filmed them.
Okay. Just chill.
I can't tell people.
You want to see my bruises?
Yeah. But I don't want to get banned.
You're not going to get banned.
Does it feel good?
Yeah, so she has these.
No, it does not feel good in the moment. So maybe that was why they took it down, because I looked like I was in pain. Like someone was getting hurt. I don't know.
So
I actually been meaning to read the rules.
But if people want to see the actual video,
message us.
You can message us and
And that's all you need to say.
Tell you how you can see it. Really?
We talk.
There's 60 people in the room that might want to like see that video.
Message us.
Okay, so message us if you want to see the video. So I wanted to show you guys this trailer real quick.
I'm gonna go eat them
for the show. So can we show them that?
Billy asked me how TikTok's been for me, and you just interrupted per usual.
You're so rude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, TikTok. how has TikTok been?
I'm just curious because I know how I talk to him all the time, but you guys are both seem to be like all in on this.
Well, Veronica's been taking it in a lot of ways even more seriously than me because she's more personable. When she goes live, she's not looking at how many people are in the room, and when people message her, she's not thinking about how many messages can I. She's like actually a little bit more present naturally and a little bit more attentive to the people. Like she actually naturally does what I have to try to do, which is
I've also been in
take each individual seriously.
I've been in a consumer-based business, and not that these people are consumers, but like I'm just the people pleaser by nature, and like I have clients, and I'm like, "What's up? Like, what are your feelings?" Like, I never really was like, "Oh," and which is probably why we worked out so well, is because I was never like, "I need to talk about myself," Yeah,
no, I listened to you guys' podcast.
Was he talking the whole time, or what?
The two of you did one.
Yeah.
No, I mean...
Oh, what just made you say that, though? Like, how does it relate?
Oh, because your personality is... you can jive with someone like him because you aim to please... you remind me actually a lot of Angela and me. Like, in the beginning of your relationship, it was about pleasing him, and then at some point, you're like, fuck this shit. I'm somebody, and I'm growing as a woman, and I'm going to stand up for myself or whatever. And I kind of see the same thing in Angela. Like,
yeah. I don't know. For us, it was that what helped me realize that is like, because I already had my career. I would go to work, I'd leave work, and then I just had free time. And he was building Hypercrush, and he was like, yo, like, you're great and I love you, but Hypercrush comes first, which he's different now.
No, like, I literally would say that to her.
So then I was
I would literally say, like, look, we're like together and everything, but like, I just want you to know, like, this will always come first.
So
like,
then
that's how crazy.
And then like Redkin stumbled in my lap, and I just started doing that, and I was like, all right, I don't need to be. Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. I don't need to rely on a man, or a person. Like, I bring my own happiness, and I just.
And then that shit bit me right in the ass.
It comes back to bite. But the one, if you asked for an instance, so you were talking about, you're cutting his hair and he's talking to ex-girlfriends and trying to make amends, but being a little flirty at the same time, and you totally tolerated it and didn't get upset.
I had completely low self-esteem back then. He walked all over me, and I just
think it's cool because you guys have developed as people, and that's not the case anymore.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he needs to, get on his knees and please you in a way, like sometimes,
Yeah, I've been really trying, and it's just funny because when my like sole purpose is to like make her happy, like I don't know if you noticed, but I've been like doing, like last night I spent like probably 30 minutes cleaning up that kitchen. I cleaned your dish with the protein. Like I scrubbed it today. I don't know. It's like, because
we make a great team.
Yeah, we make a great team, but there's always going to be, videos to make. I mean, the work never ends. So it's like, okay, there's a couple things that she wants me to do, and let me just try to do those things. Like,
it goes a long way.
But it also makes
you feel better. And then you can just be nicer. Isn't that weird? It always comes down to like the inner work.
Someone just wrote, get on your knees, because you said that.
Me?
Yeah, because you're like, I got to sometimes get on my knees and please her.
Yeah. Oh, no, I tried that with Angela. It didn't work. She's done. She's over it.
You never know, though, because when you make her laugh, it's just funny when as soon as
you love something, you got to let it go.
Yeah.
What?
If you love something, you got to let it go. Someone asked me today, so back to how TikTok's been for me. It's really cool. Like, it's really intense. What's cool is that, like, the messages that we're getting are, like, so much deeper than Instagram. Like, Instagram's like, look at my life. Ooh, isn't it, like, photographically perfect? Where TikTok's like, here's the real shit. And so people are feeling comfortable with us to give us their real shit back. So, like, I'm having rough days with, like, oh, I feel fat, or I want to eat all this food, or like, what's the point, or whatever. And then someone's like, wow, you inspired me. Look at my journey. And I'm like, oh yeah. Like, so now I've got this other community. But then also.
Wait, so you're watching their post as well? Is that
no, they're sending me messages and saying like, thank you. And like the messages they're writing are so much deeper. And like to be able, like to have, cause even in hair color, people, like when I teach hair, people are like, wow, you're like a great educator. Thank you so much. And like, I help them behind the chair, but like to help people in their real life, it's like, what a gift, So that's why it's not to be taken lightly to just be like, oh, here's my video, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm grateful for where we're at now, and I'm scared for it to get bigger because I don't want to not be able to respond, or like not be able to help people. Someone asked me a really awesome question today, and it like brings me back to the beginning of our relationship, or like times of it. Like, she said that the guy she's dating is like sober and is doing really great, but her family is afraid of him relapsing.
Yeah.
And how I almost want to find the message.
And that's true.
That's a valid fear, though.
I think that was true for your parents too. I mean, when her parents first met me,
exactly.
I was like, they didn't think I was okay for her. It took a long time.
And I said, what? And so my answer was
for her parents to accept me. I played it slow and.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I don't want this to sound weird, but
Oh, by the way, do you remember this girl?
Never mind. I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Someone messaged me in the middle of the night. Oh no, it was in the middle of 7 p.m. I don't have the energy to ask for help. I just know that you're real. Please, I'm begging. Do you remember I sent that? And I was like, what's up? And then I didn't hear from them. And then she messaged me the next day and said, I apologize for last night. I'm an addict, clean off drugs, but been drinking a lot and reaching out. I was drunk when I messaged. I shouldn't have done that. I just love you guys, TikTok videos, and look up to you and your husband. But thanks so much for responding. I haven't drank today, and I reached out to my old sponsor. How fucking cool is that?
That's funny because you're not the sober one, but you're.
Well, that's the thing, though. But she knows what it's like to live with someone sober.
Yeah.
And she understands. So it's like, dude, a girl got a sponsor in her live chat.
Yeah, you told me.
So
That's
we're growing together, and that's another really cool thing about having her like with me growing. It's like we can feed off each other. Like if I'm having a bad day, like maybe she's having a good day, and online, and I don't know. It's cool to have a partner, because if it's just me, then it's only going to be. Then all I have is my.
Here's what she
channel.
wrote.
You know what I'm saying? So she can when
I
have
you
lulls,
can feed off and bounce off of each other.
Yeah, 100%.
She wrote, I stumbled on your page and I really love your honesty and transparency. Okay. I recently started dating someone who is becoming an addiction counselor. My family is weary of him relapsing. And I understand the concern, but he's completely turned his life around, and I have faith in him. And I want to know how I can be a better partner and support him in any advice you gave. And it obviously like triggered something because I wrote like a really long message. I said, well, to live life with fear doesn't benefit anyone. There's no guarantee going into any relationship. One could cheat, be abusive, get sick. We never know what the future brings. I am always aware that Pat relapsing is a possibility, and we both know I support him no matter what, until supporting him may look like leaving him. After all, that's what got him sober the first time, when everyone close to him left. And it wouldn't be like, I'm fucking divorcing you. It'd be like, I'm going to be here when you're ready type of thing, you know? But all we can do is be in the now and live with no regrets, and have communication. The more, the better. And I also had to realize sometimes when Pat is depressed or talks about using, I don't need to like distract him and be like, don't be sad, you know? Or change his mind. Sometimes he just needs someone to listen.
That's so true.
Not always fix. So communication's everything. And it wasn't until he said to me, like, because he would be upset and I try to help, and like sometimes
and
that's so true. They don't want you to give them a solution. They just want to be heard. They need to be heard,
and be like, oh, that's fucked up.
And
because
I said,
when she says, but wait, and she tries to defend the other person, then it just makes me more upset. Because you know what I mean? Well,
what other person?
Like for example, with Wickham, if I'm just venting to her, rather than her saying like, you shouldn't have let him back in your life, or I just need her to say like, oh, that's a bummer that he
yeah,
did
well, that's
that.
a different case. Like enough's
Well,
enough.
it's just an example. I'm just trying to what?
That's a different case. Like enough's enough.
Right.
Like, fuck you. I'm sorry. I hope he hears
like
this.
Insane.
Yeah.
Oh, with him.
No, but I'm like worried.
Well,
about
you know
I don't
what?
want him to hurt himself.
Yeah.
I don't either. But like at the same time, your friends could have said that about you when you were like, when they all stopped talking to you to get sober.
No, but he like legitimately went to the psych ward twice for suicide.
But that
shouldn't be
message
saying
is
that.
over the top, dude. He's not well. He's not well.
What message is over the top?
Like, fuck you and shit this. and
yeah, he said I hate you and all
Like,
this.
Well, the day after you, what is
Yeah,
that?
he needs help. He needs help.
Hey Mick, and Frumpy wants a sponsor, so I have a girl actually that I'm gonna put you in touch with, Frumpy.
Yeah, no, I just feel like if you're not, whatever, that's none of my business. I'm sorry. I don't know how, I don't care how mad you are in that moment. You just went to that person's house, you know, like third time around, you just made an amends the next day. Maybe just don't respond, or maybe just be like, you know what? I'm really hurt right now. Let me have a week, not fuck you, die, or whatever he wrote to you.
He said whatever, but the point is that
I think
sometimes
he said, I hope you die.
No.
Didn't he?
No, he said, but whatever, fuck that. The point is that sometimes we just need to be heard, but we always want to solve the problem for the people that we love. It's hard to just be like, oh, it's a bummer. And
Yeah, it is. It's hard not to try to like give advice.
Yeah.
So here's another really good one that I actually told her I'd ask you because I didn't know how.
But like, she's writing like paragraphs to these people.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like just one person. So for me, like,
Well,
I'm trying to do
it's a lot of pressure now too, because it's like someone's life. I mean, so then I can be like so kind here, but then mean to Wickham. But you're right, he's hurting, and I shouldn't have said that. But
well, he was a total fucking dick, but he's still hurting, right?
Yeah. I suffer from depression, anxiety. Okay, well, I skipped ahead too far. I have so much love and respect for you all both. You are such an amazing couple. I have a request. My BF and I have been having a lot of communication issues this past week. I suffer from depression, anxiety. On his end, he's stressed about work. On my end, I stress about my kids and whether or not I'm doing enough to make my kids and him as happy as can be. I have manic episodes and episodes where I can be emotionally unstable. He doesn't know how to deal with it, he says. I'm scared he is on the verge of giving up because he doesn't know how to handle my sickness. But he says he does love me and doesn't want to lose me. I set up an evaluation. That way I can get the facts on what my diagnosis really are. And so that the doctors can give me what they think I need to steady this unstableness. Can you, and Veronica, oh, so they meant to write to you. Please give me some help and insight.
Who's that from?
Someone in Texas. I don't know if she wants me to say her name out loud.
How unstable is she? I wonder. Like what? But
I think I know what she means. Like Pat can be unstable. Like he can be manic. He can be really sad and then really happy and then mad and drama and emotional and like.
Oh yeah.
So like I could just be like, dude, you're fucking nuts. I'm out of here. I can't handle this. It's too much, you know. And she sounds like she's striving for perfection, which is also making her feel kind of like crazy because she's like, oh God, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? So then that makes her, yeah. And how do you?
It's like you guys have become therapists or something. It's a
Look,
little
if
weird.
there's anyone in this chat that wants to sponsor either of the two people who need sponsors, please.
I have to use the bathroom.
Yeah, go ahead. I think I'm gonna wrap it up anyways because I want to show everyone the trailer.
Okay, well,
right.
So you'll just help me
thanks
with
for
this,
listening, guys.
Y'all just help me with this comment
I love you guys.
later, anyways. Then.
Yeah.
I'm just going to the bathroom.
Yeah, no.
Good night.
Good night.